Your currency gets stronger if you do intelligent things, and your currency gets weaker when you do irrational things.
Hello and welcome to Wealthy Value. In today's video, MicroStrategy CEOs and Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor updates about the future of Bitcoin and how Bitcoin adoption will strengthen the currency. He explains why rational nations will embrace Bitcoin and how will Bitcoin and gold compare in the next decade. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video where Michael Saylor shares his thoughts about the Fed's 9.1% CPI report. He also reveals what can be the ultimate proposition for Bitcoin. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
If your goal is to make a lot of progress in the next decade, then the best way to think about that is Bitcoin is 100 times better than gold, which means Bitcoin's going to get 100 times bigger than it is right now. And we should spend our time explaining to people why Bitcoin is better than gold, better than owning an equity index fund, better than owning a second investment property, better than owning a bunch of heavy metals, right? Better than owning farmland. And you could do that, and Bitcoin could become a $250 trillion ecosystem without threatening anybody. There is no nation of gold. Gold doesn't have a police force, has no army. There's no NSA, CIA protecting gold, right? There's no one that's going to fight and die for gold. There's no president of gold. No one's getting elected to defend gold. If what you want to do is improve the human condition as fast as you can with the least amount of confusion and friction and unintended consequences, then you simply attack the nation of gold and you swap out everyone that wants sound money in the form of gold for Bitcoin. And after you finish that, you swap out $100 trillion of real estate and property investments for Bitcoin. And after that, you swap out corporate bonds and equity, and you demonetize equity and you demonetize corporate bonds. By the time you've done that, you probably will have changed the politics in 100 countries, and you'll probably have very favorable politicians, and Bitcoin probably will have built itself into the political apparatus of those countries. And either their currency will become Bitcoin-backed derivative, like they will back their currency to Bitcoin, or they will adopt Bitcoin. Your currency gets stronger if you do intelligent things, and your currency gets weaker when you do irrational things. Adopt a Bitcoin standard. All of these would be rational things. It would strengthen the currency, and it would lessen the inflation rate of the currency. If I want to create massive inflation, I just do the opposite. I declare war on 100 different things, and I spend 100x more than I take in, and I regulate everything and everyone everywhere, right? And that causes the currency to weaken, and in the extreme, completely collapses. It seems reasonable that as Bitcoin grows and it gets better understood, rational nations will embrace Bitcoin holders and Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin companies. And as they embrace them, the politics will become more favorably disposed to Bitcoin. And as that happens, their companies will start to hold Bitcoin, and their families, and then eventually their institutions, and then their agencies, right? And as that happens, their currency becomes a Bitcoin derivative. Do you know how like a stock is a derivative? Like MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin derivative. Mm-hmm. So is GBTC. So is BITO. Right? So is a Bitcoin miner. They're all securities, but they're derivatives of Bitcoin. Are they better than Bitcoin? Well, not over the long run. Over the long run, Bitcoin is the best thing. Are they different? Yes. But are they better as Bitcoin derivatives than if they were gold derivatives? See, if MicroStrategy bought 500 million in gold instead of 500 million in Bitcoin, we'd be a gold derivative. And gold has been flat to down in the past 2 years. The more Bitcoin technology and Bitcoin asset value in the citizens and the corporations domiciled in the nation state, the stronger the nation is, the more rational it gets, the stronger its currency gets. So the problem, the stark problem is when the currency is inflating at 50% a year, like let's say Argentina right? That's the obvious problem, a collapse of the currency, or in Turkey, when the currency is collapsing. And when you have Bitcoin or the peso, that's an extreme proposition. And that sets up a confrontation, an unhealthy confrontation, right? Because now you're a citizen and you have to choose to support your nation state currency, or you have to choose the global currency against your nation state's wishes. Well, if you're smart, right, you have like 5% fiat currency, 95% Bitcoin, right? And you kind of take the hit on the 5%, that's your checking account, and the 95%, you kind of preserve your store of value. That's what you do it. But what if you had a fiat currency which was only inflating at 2% a year or 3% a year? The common narrative is that the dollar is only going to inflate at 2% a year. We know that's not true. The number is more like 7% in a good year. But when the number gets to be less than 7%, at 7%, then you've got 10 years to have your money cut in half. Okay, so you can rely on it reasonably for a year, 2, 3 years at a time below 7%. When it gets to 21%, you can rely on it for 24 to 36 months. And when it gets to 40%, right, you've got 1 year that you can rely on it. And when it gets to 80 to 90%, right, you've got weeks to months. Mm-hmm. So my point here really is there's easily $500 trillion worth of monetary energy divided between, probably a lot more than that, divided between bonds and equity and property and collectibles and real estate and currencies. You can either take the position that all nation-state governments must topple and fail today. I'm an enemy of all nation-states, so that Bitcoin is the sole currency. Or you can take the position that Bitcoin is simply going to be pari passu to gold and be 10 times bigger. Or Bitcoin is much better than gold, it'll be 100 times bigger. And you can partner with every nation state. Now, if you use common sense, right? Like walk down the street and tell everybody you have a good idea and say, I've got a really good idea. It's going to be good for America, good for your family, good for your company, good for your city, good for your state, and good for you. And it's going to be fun. And think about how many people will want to embrace that idea. Oh, and it'll make you rich. That's one proposition. Bitcoin better than gold. The other proposition is, I need you to abandon your company, quit your job, leave your city, go to war with your state, go to war with your country, tell your family they're all stupid in order to do the right thing. And if they all agree with you, then maybe we'll make progress. And that's the Bitcoin is the only currency.
So what are your thoughts about Michael Saylor's perspective on inflation and future of Bitcoin? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.